Meet Pip, the American Pika with a personality as big as Montana itself. While her friends, the yellow-bellied marmots, are in a deep winter snooze. Talk about missing out. Pip is racing down snowy hills, her homemade skis squeaking with every turn. With the snow starting to melt, she's about to turn up the excitement to a level 10. Are you ready? It's going to be a fun, silly, and totally legendary adventure. Imagine a tiny, fluffy potato with spoon-shaped ears. That's Pip. And she is so quick, you'd think she's got rocket boosters on her paws. Now, most animals think winter is for napping. Not Pip. She's a pocket-sized picnic planner, and summer is her grocery shopping season. While the sun's shining, Pip is running a non-stop food delivery service, filling her haypile with all the best Montana goodies. Why? Because when the snow starts to fly again, Pip's not going to be ordering takeout. Nope. She will likely have her own food stash, a secret treasure trove of tasty treats. And now that the snow is melting, it's time to get serious about filling that food pantry. In the summer, Pip could have been mistaken for a furry little grocery shopper on 4 paws, zooming through the mountain meadow. She zipped around, snipping with her sharp, scissor-like teeth. Snip, snip. Grasses, wildflowers in every color, crunchy pine needles, and even a sneaky mushroom or two didn't stand a chance. Pip would grab them up in her mouth, race them back, and pile them high in her secret haystack. Her food stash, her all-you-can-eat salad bar, would be her lifesaver in the winter. Without it, Pip would be facing a cold, empty stomach during the long, cold, icy months ahead. After a long day of work, Pip would climb onto her favorite rock, soaking up the warmth, while watching ravens, hawks, magpies, and eagles soar above. She worked so hard gathering food, but surely she needed a break from this. Pip had big dreams. "I wish I could fly," she sighed, feeling a bit jealous. One evening, Pip found the most delicious wildflowers she had ever seen. They were bright and colorful, practically begging to be picked. With her sharp teeth, working like a gas-powered weed trimmer, she snipped the flowers and held them in her mouth. Every once in a while, Pip would take a wild leap between 2 distant rocks. It was like she was flying. Well, for about 1 second anyway. In midair, her tiny heart would race. Gravity quickly reminded her she wasn't a bird. With a soft plop, Pip landed with a little bounce, still clutching her flowers and wearing the biggest, goofiest grin. She might not have flown, but she sure had fun trying. Pip spotted a slow-moving caterpillar munching on grass. "Hi, I'm Pip," she said cheerfully while strumming her banjo. The caterpillar turned, her body wiggling in a way that looked like a little dance. "My name is Mona," she said in a soft, slow voice, like the sun creeping over the horizon. Pip stared in awe, mesmerized by the vibrant stripes that ran down Mona's body. Pip said, "It looks like someone spilled a box of crayons all over you." Despite their differences, Pip and Mona became the best of friends. Pip zipped around quickly, gathering food for winter, while Mona took her time, savoring each leaf she munched. They did things in their own ways, and their friendship made every moment special. In the evening, they shared stories, Pip's fast-paced adventures and Mona's thoughtful discoveries. Pip dreamed of flying, and Mona's heart carried a secret dream, one that would change everything. Meet Sir Marmalade, also known as Mr. Rock Chuck the Mechanic, or Whistle Pig Gizmo to his mountain pals. Smart and tough, this yellow-bellied marmot loved building things, especially if it involved wood and a good project. One day, while watching Pip haul grass in her tiny mouth, Sir Marmalade had a spark of genius. "Why not a wagon?" he thought, rubbing his paws. And just like that, the Haypile Express was born in his outdoor workshop. Pip loved the wagon. It helped her gather even more grasses, forbs, and flowers. It worked great, except when she had to pull it over bumpy rocks. Thump, thump, clinkety clank. The wheels would bump and wobble, and the wagon would get stuck. Pip would give a little tug. Wiggle, wiggle, until it popped free, sending her bouncing along again. Mona, the monarch caterpillar, happily munched on leaves all alone. Munch, crunch, chomp, yummy yum. The leaves were so tasty on this beautiful sunny day. Quick and Flick, two ermines, were on the hunt for someone to bully. When they saw Mona, they mocked her for her slow movements. Their cruel words tried to make her feel horrible and small, but no one should ever be treated like that. Bullying leaves scars, even if we can't always see them. Later that day, Sir Marmalade appeared. The marmot knew that standing up to cruelty is the first step to overcoming it. As he waddled toward the ermines, his voice rang out, firm and unyielding. You leave her alone, Quick and Flick. Everyone has their own way of being in this world. Bullies make everyone feel small, but kindness makes everyone feel big. Try it sometime. Quick and Flick scowled, muttering insults under their breath, but something in Sir Marmalade's presence made them back off. Slowly they slinked away. Thank you, Pip said, offering a flower to Sir Marmalade. He replied with a respectful bow. Sir Marmalade's eyes softened as he looked at them both. Listen, he said gently. Don't let anyone make you feel small. You are both wonderful and important, just as you are. Never forget that. Sometimes bullies act the way they do because they don't understand themselves, or maybe because they feel small inside. What really matters is the kindness and strength you carry inside. Their friendship was about fully accepting one another, quirks, flaws, and all. In a world that pushes for perfection, they found strength in their differences, embracing each other as they were. They learned from each other and helped each other grow. Sometimes the best friends are the ones who make you feel safe, happy, and understood. Attention, esteemed members of the Secret Society of Marmots, Sir Goldenheart announced. Today, we convene to address a pressing issue. He paused, clearing his throat. The conduct of Quick and Flick has created an unacceptable environment. Honestly, who wants a world where you can't eat a wildflower without being insulted? He said, low and hard. Silence makes you a coward. We choose courage. Every voice matters, no matter how small, against the bully's bite. Just as Pip's food stash was growing and she began to feel a little safer and more prepared for the winter, disaster struck. Two mountain goats appeared from the ridgeline, their heavy hooves clattering as they stomped into Pip's territory. They were massive and hungry. Pip watched, wide-eyed, as they moved toward her precious haypile. "Hey, that's my food!" she cried, her voice trembling. But the goats didn't listen. They just kept eating, tearing through her pile. "Munch, munch, crunch," Pip begged, her heart sinking. "Guys, this is all I have for the winter." But the goats only grunted, chewing away. Slowly, Pip's hard work, her hopes for a full and safe winter had vanished. "What am I going to do?" she whispered to Mona, who had quietly come to sit by her side. Mona waited a long moment before speaking softly. Life sometimes throws challenges at us that we didn't expect. Things go wrong that we can't control. Sometimes bad things happen and we don't have the power to stop them. Pip wiped her eyes as Mona continued. How we respond to these disasters is what really makes the difference. It's okay to cry, to feel sad, or even get angry. But then, we pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. It's not over, Pip. Sir Goldenheart, his golden gaze heavy with understanding, landed beside Pip. "They stripped you of your haypile," he murmured, "leaving nothing for winter. But Pip," his voice lifted, "your story is not defined by your haypile. Your dreams, the very essence of your being, your courage and the boundless love you hold, These are the true treasures, and they remain untouched. Dawn broke over the mountains, a quiet promise of peace, until two furry shapes crested the hill. Quick and Flick. They were coming straight for them. Pip's spoon-shaped ears shot up, panic flashing across her face. "Not them again," she groaned, her voice tight. Mona's eyes were wide with fear. Would their morning be destroyed by these bullies? Before Quick or Flick could even get a word out, something magical happened. The air above them buzzed, and a golden shadow swooped down. Whoosh. Pip's eyes grew as big as ripe huckleberries when the majestic golden eagle came rocketing out of the sky, wings spread wide like a fighter jet. With one mighty swoosh, Sir Goldenheart grabbed both ermines by the scruffs of their necks, yanking them right off the ground. Mona had been growing bigger every day, munching leaves like a hungry machine. One afternoon, she decided it was time for a major life update. She climbed a tree and began spinning what would soon become her chrysalis, a hard, protective shell, like a secret fortress made from a special material her body produces. This fort would keep her safe while she underwent metamorphosis, the magical transformation from caterpillar to butterfly. Nature's superhero, right? Pip set up camp nearby and watched in awe. She didn't know it yet, but Mona was going through a pretty big change. For now, all Pip could do was wait. Mona's voice was soft, barely a whisper as she spoke from inside her silky chrysalis. "This feels strange and even scary, but it's all part of becoming who I'm meant to be. I will always be your friend, Pip. Even though I'll look different, I'll still be the same on the inside." 12 days later, something magical happened. Mona's chrysalis trembled and cracked open, like a secret finally being told. Slowly, a stunning monarch butterfly emerged, her wings a brilliant orange, patterned with black like a living masterpiece. She stretched her wings, fluttering them gently. Fluff, flutter, flutter. And then she was flying. Pip's eyes widened in amazement, her heart swelling with pride. "You can fly," she whispered, breathless. "What does it feel like to fly?" Mona soared, her wings spread wide. "It feels like nothing else, Pip," she called. "The wind's my friend." Pip watched, a heavy feeling stirring inside. It wasn't jealousy exactly, but something close. "I wish I could fly," she whispered. Mona, soaring above, glanced down with a gentle smile. "Everyone has their own wings, Pip." The marmots watched Mona's transformation, and they felt Pip's sadness too. They knew about her lost food stash, and if they didn't help, Pip might not survive the harsh winter. With hearts full of hope, the marmots decided to act. 3 marmots dove headfirst into Pip's flying machine project. They whistled tunes with pure marmot enthusiasm. Day and night blurred into one giant work party. They were powered by a mountain of flower and grass sandwiches. They sketched plans, built prototypes, and ended up with something that looked like a wooden bicycle with wings. It took 11 tries, but hey, after a lot of crashes and some questionable engineering, they actually made a flying machine for Pip. Mona's eyes gleamed. She offered a smile, a promise. She whispered, "Leave winter behind. Please join me on my journey. Fly with me, Pip, to Mexico. Imagine a sky painted with wings. We'll ride the air currents to forests alive with 1,000,000 of my friends." Pip's eyes sparkled with excitement as she looked at Mona. "I'd love to go," she said, her heart racing with anticipation. 3 of Pip's neighbors knew their brave fuzzball friend was about to embark on the vacation of a lifetime, soaring through the air like a tiny, fearless daredevil. They couldn't wait to hear all of her stories when she came back next spring. To send Pip off in style, they played a bold, funky farewell song that had everyone laughing and cheering.
Pip, our friend is gonna fly to Mexico up in the sky. She is off to see the butterflies while we stay here and wave goodbye. Pip, off she goes to Mexico where sunshine glows. She'll see the monarch butterfly wings so grand and do the wiggle butt dance on the sand. From the sky of butterflies and sunny days and funny buzzy insect ways. She'll flutter south with happy cheeks and maybe learn some new calls and squeaks. When Pip returns, we'll laugh and cheer and hear of all the funny things she'd hear. Pip, when you see those butterflies wiggle their little butts, you wiggle yours too, and bring back some tacos and burritos.
Pip took flight in the flying contraption and yelled to Mona, "I can fly! This is my dream come true! Yahoo!" Mona chimed in, "We're off to Mexico!" As they soared, the propeller made a noise that sounded like a wolverine with hiccups and a sneeze.
Put put burp, wee ee onk, huff toot, whoosh, pop hick, clack a clack, rattle tat.
As they zoomed over the mountains, Mona tried not to laugh at the sight of Pip's goggles slipping down her furry face. The air was thick with their wings, the sky looking as if it were painted with 1,000 brush strokes of orange. Pip had never seen anything so magical. "This is incredible," she gasped, her heart swelling with awe. "There must be 1,000,000 of them," Mona whispered. "Nice flying, bro." "We've made it. This is where we all come to rest until spring arrives. Then, we're off again on our next short adventure." And it was true. The place was a haven, a magical forest filled with monarch butterflies in every direction. But as incredible as this was, Pip decided she needed to explore this new wonderland. Pip decided to give Mona some space to catch up with her monarch friends. She wandered off and stumbled upon a tiny surf shop by the beach. Without a second thought, she signed up for surf lessons. The water was cool and refreshing, perfect for a heat-sensitive little critter who's usually way too warm. She caught a few waves and a cool breeze, and probably a few puzzled looks from passing tourists. "This is amazing," she muttered. "I wonder if I can hang 10. One evening after surfing, Pip learned that the only taco truck in town had shut down because the owner moved back to Vermont, probably to make maple syrup. This is it. Pip acquired the taco truck and began making tacos. The locals loved her creations. Pip's secret ingredients? An extra layer of vegetarian toppings that only she would think of. Wildflowers, dandelion greens, a pinch of herbs, and a dash of sea salt. With tacos dripping, hot sauce burning, sunset blazing, Pip and Mona watched the horizon. Months blurred, October faded, March bloomed, and spring arrived. Pip asked, "After migrating to Mexico, where do monarch butterflies go in spring?" Mona's wings stirred, a quiet whisper of departure. "I'll head north, following the sun." "Will we see each other again?" Pip's voice trembled. "I'll be alive for only a few more weeks. I'll lay my eggs so my legacy will continue." A tear slipped into Pip's taco. "I feel like a puzzle with one piece missing. I'll miss you so much." Pip was back from Mexico, and she didn't just bring stories, she brought tacos. Crunch, munch, yum. Her mountain friends' taste buds did a happy dance as the tacos worked their magic. "Ooh, spicy," they squealed. "More guacamole, please." Pip giggled and told them all about her wild adventures, and the mountains echoed with laughter. That evening, Pip sat still, with Pip Jr. close by. She thought of Mona's last words just before Mona had fluttered her wings one last time and vanished. Nothing stays the same for long. Life is a battle, but it's worth the fight. A tiny caterpillar emerged, trembling in the fading light. Was it one of Mona's offspring? Pip's heart swelled with hope and wonder. As she guided Pip Jr. to forage, Pip whispered, "Nothing stays the same for long." The words were a reminder that even in loss, hope flickered, illuminating the promise of tomorrow.
Pip, small and stout, lived in talus rocks, no room to doubt. Gathered greens, a haypile grand, winter salad close at hand. Ravens flew so sleek and high, oh to fly, Pip sighed, oh my. Then a caterpillar moving so slow, Mona was munching, yo, yo, yo. Flick and quick to ermine so mean, called Mona horrible names, not so keen. Their words are mean, weak, mean and long. But the marmot with booming sound, leave them be, he stomped the ground. Mountain goats ate Pip's pile, a tragic sight. His winter stash gone that night. Mona spun a chrysalis, bright and gold. A change is coming, stories told, like floating dreams. She said with glee, fly to Mexico, the sky's a dance, wild and free. Marmot's genius had bright, built a flying rig with all his might. To Mexico they soared so grand, where monarchs meet, a painted land. Millions flutter, orange, black and white, a winter heaven, pure delight. Pip surfed the waves, a salty spray, opened a taco shop, hip hip hooray.